Attorney
you can't
General,
put words in my mouth.
No.
You want to talk about incompetence? You're the one that said Joe Biden on PBS was competent. You had to retract those words.
Mr.
So don't
Chairman,
talk to me. Don't insult me publicly.
this is so discourteous. This is so outside the committee's guidelines. Taking a personal shot at me while swiping at Biden.
What unfolded in Congress was pure political fireworks. Pam Bondi, the former Florida Attorney General, stood firm during a tense clash with Democrat Madeleine Dean. What was expected to be a sharp attack quickly flipped into a revealing moment, one that exposed cracks on the other side while showcasing Bondi's composure and strength under pressure. Before diving into every detail, make sure to subscribe so you never miss updates like this.
Thank you, Ranking Member. Thank you, and welcome, Attorney General Bondi. I just wonder, sincerely wonder, do you hear how hollow your last words sound in light of the pardon of all of the January 6th people, day one of this administration? I believe you're sincere. You want to protect law enforcement, but your principal, the president, pardoned every single one on January 6th. It rings hollow when you say these words, that if you spit on a police officer, we're going to go after you. Talk to my friends who are Capitol Police officers who were here, 5 of whom are no longer here. They are dead. And this administration, and I guess I want to ask you, did you have any advice for the president when he came forward with the blanket pardon on January 20th? What advice did you offer the president?
I am never going to talk about conversations, advice
you asked
in any
for-
way.
were you asked
I'm
for
never
advice?
going to talk about discussions I've had
Because
or have
you'll-
not had.
you'll
But
remember-
I can answer with the President of the
Yes or
United
no?
States.
Did you give him any advice? Yes or no?
I am not going to discuss any conversations
That's a
that
no.
I have had with it.
And
You just put
your
words in
own
my
word,
mouth. I am
but-
not going to
No,
discuss.
I'm going to reveal your own words.
I am
Just a
not
moment.
going to
Please stop.
discuss
Please stop. This is
conversations
my
that I've
time.
had with the President of the United States.
Attorney
You asked
General,
me a question.
I would like to reclaim
and
the
you
last
asked
20
me to
seconds.
answer.
I have asked to reclaim my time. Please put 20 seconds back on the clock.
You have an extra 30.
If the general,
She answered and then answered it again and answered it again with a non-answer. I ask for your consideration
if the
of putting time
gentle
on.
lady will let the witness answer the question, we will.
She
proceed.
answered it by saying no. Okay. The 3 hallmarks of this administration are incompetence, corruption, and cruelty. I'm going to focus today on corruption. And in my mind, there are 2 types of corruption: personal, and then the other I'm going to call public, governmental. Attorney General, have you ever been registered as an agent of a foreign principal under the Foreign Agents Registration Act?
I assume you're talking about when I represented the country of Qatar for a very short time.
The answer
Hold
is
on.
yes. No,
Hold on.
excuse me.
No.
No.
For anti-human trafficking for the World Cup. Anti-human trafficking
or
for the
no?
World Cup.
Attorney
you can't
General-
put words in my mouth.
No.
You want to talk about incompetence? You're the one that
Excuse
said Joe Biden on PBS was competent. You had to retract those words.
Mr.
So don't
Chairman-
talk to me. Don't insult me publicly.
This is so discourteous. This is so outside the committee's guidelines. Taking a personal shot at me while swiping at Biden? Very strange and very unprofessional of you. The answer is yes or no, and the answer is yes. You were registered as a lobbyist for Qatar. Is that correct? Yes. Never mind. Don't answer. Did you disclose that when you went before for the Senate for confirmation? Yes or no? No, it was not in your documents. The answer is no. President Trump.
This was discussed at my confirmation hearings in detail.
It was discussed, but you failed to bring up the conflict that you had. President Trump recently announced he'd accept that $400 million Qatar airplane because it was just prettier than the one he was flying around in. Is it true that you gave advice that this was legally permissible? Yes or no?
I will not discuss any advice that my Office of Legal Counsel gives to the President of the United States on any matter.
When you spoke before the Senate, you said you would ask for ethical advice. Did you recuse yourself from that issue?
And talking about unprofessional, you say the president wanted a jet because it's pretty?
Excuse
Come
me.
on, this is a Senate, this is a
He said it
congressional
himself.
hearing.
He said it himself.
Madeleine Dean came out aggressively, accusing Pam Bondi of hypocrisy for backing law enforcement while serving in an administration that issued pardons on its first day. But Bondi didn't flinch. She remained calm and steady, refusing to be drawn into discussing private conversations with the president. She made it clear she would not compromise professional standards just to satisfy political theatrics. Dean attempted to corner her by repeating the same question over and over. Yet Bondi never backed down. Each time, she calmly reiterated that integrity means protecting confidential legal counsel. As Dean pressed harder, it became increasingly obvious she wasn't going to get the response she wanted, because Bondi refused to play along with the trap being set. When Dean escalated the rhetoric, accusing the administration of incompetence, corruption, and cruelty, Bondi pushed back. She called out the remarks as personal attacks, describing them as unprofessional and discourteous. In that moment, the contrast was clear. Dean was turning the exchange personal, while Bondi stayed composed and focused on the issue at hand. Dean then shifted to Bondi's past work with Qatar, attempting to frame it as a conflict of interest. Bondi quickly clarified that her involvement related to anti-human trafficking efforts connected to the World Cup, work aimed at protecting vulnerable people, not creating controversy. She also reminded the committee that this topic had already been addressed during her confirmation hearings. Rather than appearing defensive, Bondi came across as direct and transparent. The tension rose further when Dean accused Bondi of enabling Trump's acceptance of a Qatari jet. Once again, Bondi refused to disclose confidential legal advice, emphasizing her responsibility to maintain ethical boundaries. That decision wasn't a sign of weakness, it reinforced her commitment to professional duty over political spectacle. By the end of the exchange, what was meant to be a tough interrogation had become a demonstration of Bondi's composure under pressure. Dean may have attempted to score political points, but Bondi's steady approach and refusal to abandon her principles ultimately defined the moment. It served as a reminder that real leadership often shows itself through discipline, restraint, and a firm commitment to ethics, even in the middle of heated political confrontations. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and stay tuned for more updates.